Hello and thank you for watching this webcast. I will be introducing you to Autodesk Forma, formerly known as SpaceMaker. Let's get going. Here's the agenda for today's webinar. This is the first offering of Forma, and I think you'll find that it is quite comprehensive. I'll be introducing its modeling and design capabilities, some of the automation and analysis tools, plus its ability to share and connect with other products such as Revit. If any of you here today happen to be familiar with Autodesk Forma, you'll see some distinct similarities. The sketching and modeling tools have been designed to function the same in both products for a seamless transition. If you're not familiar with Forma, that's okay. These tools are very easy to use and have a shallow learning curve, so you don't have to be a CAD expert to use it. You'll see these tools in action today. You'll also see that Forma is powered by the cloud and runs in a web browser. This is a quick look at the main capabilities of Forma. It's meant to be used during early stage design by equipping you with simple modeling tools for quick turnaround of your proposals. I'll be showing you an example that will touch on each of these. To get started, I'll create a project and access some of the data sets that are provided in Forma. Forma site, we'll start by creating a new project and giving it a name. Provide an address or location. Zoom and pan to finalize the map area, and then confirm it. Processing will take a few moments. When finished, the Order Data window will appear. Here you will select information you'd like to include in your proposal. I'll start with the terrain. I'll also order some property boundaries, as well as 3D building models. I'm sticking with the free data that's provided. While you're ordering data, you'll have the ability to refine those areas as you see fit. When you're finished ordering data, close the window and then go to the Library tab. The terrain will already be shown in the canvas, but you can preview it and refine it if you need to. I'll also preview property boundaries so that I can select exactly what I want in the proposal. I'll do the same thing for the placeholder buildings. After starting a project and ordering data, I'll do some sketching and modeling to establish the surroundings. Now that I have a site prepared, I'll establish the site limits where this project will be built. I'm able to snap to the property boundaries that I ordered, and we'll just use those as a guide for this example. Next, I'll add a 3D building to represent the overall footprint. 2D and 3D drawing tools in Forma are very similar to Autodesk Forma to provide a seamless transition between the two. Next, I'll refine the building by giving each of the floors a function such as residential or commercial, plus update the floor heights. You can select floors individually to do that. Also, you can add more floors with a simple click and drag. Now I'll refine the terrain by leveling the area established by the site limits. I can do that by tracing an existing shape. I'll use the new site limits for this. A higher elevation will build the terrain up, and a lower one will create a hole in the site. I'll settle on an elevation that will just level the area without disrupting the neighboring properties. Now that a conceptual building and pad have been established, I can embellish on it with things like parking, trees, and so on. I'll create a courtyard with some simple surfaces to represent walkways and a green space. The surface tool is good for this. Lines and rectangles can be used to create a walkway, and you can trace existing boundaries. When working with surfaces, standard Boolean operations are available to modify them. Plus, I'll give it a unique color to help it stand out. Next, I'll use the line tool to draw additional surfaces to represent green spaces and color those as well. Once you have some areas in place, you can add some trees. I'm using the Area with Trees tool so that I can randomize the arrangement while controlling the height and spacing. There's also a tool to draw a line of trees. I'll just refine these to get an arrangement that's workable for the proposal. Now that I've added some extra elements, I'll move them to the base so that they will be included in additional proposals or options that I might want to present. This reduces the amount of recreation of the same elements. Next, I'll add parking to the bottom level. With one click, Forma will generate an automatic layout. In the parking settings, you'll have control of that layout. If you need to make manual changes, you can click the floor plan tool, which will enter the 2D sketch mode to further refine the layout. Ultimately, I'll stick with the current one because I'm going to remove it. Now I'll use the floor plan tool for one of the upper levels and use the sketch tools to refine the plan. If a floor plan repeats itself on other levels, you can propagate it to avoid drawing the same plan again. As I mentioned before, The sketching tools are similar to Autodesk Forma. After finishing with element creation, you can analyze the proposal in a variety of ways. You can perform studies of the area metrics, sun and solar, wind, daylight potential, microclimate, operational energy, and noise. All the analysis tools are located over here in the right pane. Let's perform a sun study. I'll click the Sun Hours tool, choose a date, and run the analysis. After a few moments, you'll get notified, and we'll open the analysis. The tools here provide the sun exposure data during that day. Plus, you can review the exposure for any point in the view. I'm pretending here that there is too much sun hitting the courtyard, so I'll modify the building by extending the upper floors out to provide some cover. This is done quickly by simply modifying the floor plan sketch. And then run another analysis. You can access the history here and go back to review previous studies. Now that I have multiple studies, I can compare them side by side and inspect specific points. And if I need to share the results, I can create a snapshot as an image file. Now that the proposal is complete and analyzed, I'll transfer it to Revit. In the interest of time, I won't be doing any work in Revit, but want to point out how it works with Forma. From any proposal in Forma, you can download the Revit plugin. Once that is installed, you can send it to Revit. In Revit, you'll go to the Massing and Site tab. There will be a Forma panel right here. Before loading the proposal, I'll set the desired options and then load the proposal. The site will come in along with the buildings that were added in Forma. Those will be created as generic models. If desired, you can use the option to create walls, floors, and roofs instead. The site will have the satellite image draped over it, and the terrain will be produced as the new toposolid element. One thing to highlight about the position is that the project base point will be honored during the load. It will still be at Revit's internal origin and at level 1 as expected, and the survey point will be aligned with the terrain from Forma. You'll still want to review both points to make sure that they are in the correct locations for your project and make any necessary adjustments. The point here is that Forma is aware of Revit and vice versa. Loading a proposal into Revit, you can work on it as you normally would and send the changes back to Forma. Walls, floors, and roofs will be transferred to the proposal. Plus, you can modify or remove items such as the placeholder buildings from the Revit project. When changes are made in Revit, they will be reflected in Forma. I started a building shell here and updated the proposal to show the workflow. I'll go back to Revit for one more change, delete one of the placeholders so that I can enlarge my building, then update the proposal one more time. From here, you can conduct more studies and quickly get the proposal ready to present to your clients. I'd like to share some additional resources with you. In case you're wondering how you can access Forma, you can visit autodesk.com or do an internet search to get to the main page. There is a free trial, and you can access your hub if you've already set one up. A more direct way to access it is to use the second web address here, app.autodeskforma.com. Also, there is a terrific help center located at help.autodeskforma.com, and I highly recommend checking that out. Here are the self-help resources that are available from us at Hagerman. On our YouTube page, you'll find the recordings for all our previous webcasts. This one will be available shortly. Plus, we have plenty of articles on our blog at hagerman.com and even more content on our customer hub. If you'd like more assistance, or if you are interested in getting started with Forma, don't hesitate to contact us for support. I hope you find today's information useful. Thanks for joining us.